My name is Lenin, and I was the most successful at dealing with opposition. First of all, my performance in the Civil War was excellent. I led the Bolsheviks to victory in the October Revolution. Throughout the Civil War, I provided the energy and drive needed to inspire success. At all times, I had very definite aims and objectives and a sense of purpose about what I believed and what was best for Russia. My leadership was never challenged. First of all, one of my first measures enacted was to close down opposition press. I closed down opposition parties, starting with the cadets who had done fairly well in elections for the Constituent Assembly, and by May 1918 all other parties had been banned. Next, I brought in the Cheka. This was the secret police to crush opposition and also created concentration camps. They were the machinery of terror. They were particularly active on the countryside through grain requisitioning. Thousands of peasants were arrested and the Cheka was at war with the peasants. From 1918 to 1920, 300,000 people were killed by my Cheka. This helped me centralize power and was also an aspect of war communism, and grain requisitioning is in large parts of what made the Bolsheviks able to win the Civil War. Then, I gave land reform. I gave the peasants the right to take over the estates of the gentry without compensation to the landlords, and for themselves decide the best way to divide it up. This made me very popular. Next, I encouraged class warfare. I encouraged class warfare as a way to intimidate the middle class into submission. The legal system was replaced with revolutionary justice, class persecution. I wish to end privilege and introduce a fairer society. I want to scrap titles. In this sense, warfare was definitely a tool to carry out Bolshevik ideology, and made many of the middle class start to obey me. I also brought in the NEP, the New Economic Policy as it's also known as. This helped encourage sort of capitalist ideas. Although this wasn't part of the Bolshevik ideology, it definitely got the peasants on my side as they could finally make profits again. Oh, I'm such a good guy. Was I better than the other rulers? Yes. Because Alexander II was assassinated. That's not very effective, is it? Alexander III was too repressive, and that brought about problems for Nicholas II, because everyone was sick of the Tsars by then. Nicholas II was forced to abdicate. If that doesn't show weakness of handling the opposition, I don't know what does. Also, in 1905, in response to Bloody Sunday, he made a Duma. What's that about, eh? The provisional government, well, they got nothing done and they were in there for 8 months. They were eventually just kicked out by me. That was the best moment of my life, and it shows how weak they were. As for Stalin, he had no opposition, so he wasn't very effective at dealing with it. He only dealt with potential opposition because he was just paranoid all the time. What a baby. And finally, Khrushchev. He went on holiday, they kicked him out. If that doesn't show weakness, I don't know what does. I mean, his party didn't even fear he would come back and overtake the place. They let him live, for God's sake. If that doesn't show weakness, nothing else would. In conclusion, I remained in power until I died of natural causes. No one dared come against me after the Civil War, and I was definitely the best ruler for dealing with the opposition. Amen.